Hi, I'm Cathy Thomas. Acclaimed cooking teacher Linda Carucci has written a wonderful new cookbook, and it shares the secrets of cooking schools. So, Linda, tell us about your book.
Hi, Cathy. Thanks. Well, it's called Cooking School Secrets for Real World Cooks, and it's, as my editor says, my life's work, all in one volume. It's really, really been fun to write, and it's been really fun to share my recipes on the road as I've been teaching around the country.
And you're going to show us how to make a great and very versatile sauce.
Absolutely. This is either a spread or a condiment, depending on where you are and what you want to do with it. It's called Muhammara, and it starts with walnuts. So we've toasted these just to give them a little bit of extra flavor, and I'm going to process them in the processor here until the sound changes. You hear how it goes from a noisy racket to
it changes
quieter.
Pitch, doesn't it?
It sure does. And then I'm taking a slice, with the equivalent of a slice of bread. This is nice because it has a really soft crust. If the crust were hard from it being a day-old piece of bread, that would be fine. I'd just take the crust off and I wouldn't use it.
Right.
So now we're going to mix these together. I'm making some fresh breadcrumbs here now. And you notice I stopped before the walnuts became a paste.
Right.
And there we have what's going to be the binding agent in this condiment or spread. And now I have some roasted red peppers. These are the jarred peppers, jarred red bell peppers. And if the packaging, if the ingredients indicates that it has vinegar in it, I rinse them in cool water just so that I get rid of any of that vinegar flavor, because that's not generally one of the flavors you want in Muhammara. Now, Muhammara is a spread that's served in the Middle East. I'm going to scrape the bowl a little bit here. You can never scrape the bowl too much when you're using a food processor.
Right.
And if you're in Syria, Muhammara is made with this beautiful red pepper. It's a hot but fruity red pepper called Aleppo, A-L-E-P-P-O. If you're in Turkey, it's made with a red pepper paste called ajvar, A-J-V-A-R. So I'm going to add about a half teaspoon here to one batch. If you're doubling the recipe, you don't want to double the hot spicy ingredients because, as you know, capsaicin increases exponentially, so you end up with something that's really, really hot.
Right.
Now, what makes this so distinctively wonderful is this ingredient here called pomegranate molasses, and this is the Indo-European brand. Actually, you might find this under a label called pomegranate paste or pomegranate spread. It's all the same thing.
And any Middle Eastern supermarket,
that's where to get it.
Store has that.
Exactly. I'm putting a couple of tablespoons in here, and you'll notice that it has a really nice, rich viscosity. And you can see, it slowly clears the bottle, but it does so that you can see through it, and that gives you an indication of quality. If it takes a really long time or it's really crystallized, it's a little old and maybe over-reduced and a little bitter. So that looks good. And we have some tomato paste here. I love the tomato paste in the tube. You know, the kind that you can buy like dental or like toothpaste. Some cumin. You can take ground cumin. And we've toasted this in a dry skillet on the stove just to sort of wake up the flavors. And we have some kosher salt.
Right.
And finally, some olive oil. And I like to use a bold, fruity olive oil in here, but it doesn't really matter. Whatever your workhorse oil is will do just fine. And let's give this a whirl.
Right. That goes together really quickly, doesn't it?
It's basically what I call at this point a dump recipe. You dump everything in and you let it whirl around. Truth be told, I love to use a blender for this because you get a really nice, fine puree. The blenders these days, though, the new ones anyway, have a flat bottom, so you don't get that vortex effect, which really gives it the nice puree.
And what are some of the things that I could serve with this?
Well, this is really excellent. It's served as a condiment. I'm going to process it till it's a little smoother. In the Middle East, if you had kebabs or souvlaki, you would serve this in a nice dollop on the plate as a condiment, much like we would use tartar sauce with fish here. Or we're going to serve it as an hors d'oeuvre by spreading it out on the platter here. And that looks just great. So I have here an offset palette knife.
Yes.
And I'm going to is it okay if I just do this right here?
Right. You can do it right here. I'll hold the platter.
Perfect. All right. So we're going to pour some of this out. And I'm going to save some of this for a little condiment later when we serve the lamb.
Oh, wonderful.
And this will be a terrific hors d'oeuvre. We've crisped up some pita wedges here. And I've saved some of the walnuts you can see in here so that we can decorate the top with walnuts. You can drizzle this with olive oil if you like. Picture sort of a red bell pepper hummus that has this great pomegranate molasses flavor in it. And then we're just going to put a few of these on top so people can see.
Toasted nuts.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly. And there you have it. Should we have a taste?
Oh, I think we should.
Okay.
Have a pita.
Thank you very much. Pizza pita.
So
just
and I'm going to use the big end.
Oh, you're smart. I'm going to stick around with you.
Oh, it's really delicious.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Linda.
Thank you very much for having me, Cathy.